Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Under the Lights Racing League Cup Series. This is your voice for the action tonight, INF, and tonight it is the third and final race in the round of 8, the elimination race, coming to you live from the virtual Michigan International Speedway, where, after the conclusion of tonight's 100-lap race, 4 drivers will move on to compete for their chance at the Season 6 UTLR Cup Series title. Glad to have you all with us here tonight, where it is going to be quite an exciting one from this track. Michigan obviously is a semi super speedway. The way with the draft works and how fast this place is, we're going to be expecting a lot of close quarters action tonight, a lot of high tense moments, and definitely a very close finish, to say the very least. 18 cars set up for the grid tonight for this 200-mile race, which will take over, as I previously mentioned, 100 laps. From Michigan, I will go ahead and get you the starting lineup for this race. So, on pole is the 43 playoff driver of LRS, who's joined alongside already Championship 4 locked in 24 car of Mull. In third, right now we have Tomato, another playoff driver. Fourth is Storm, who is also a playoff driver. And the top 5 is rounded out by, you guessed it, another top or playoff driver, that being SP in the 42. Then Crimson Sniper starting 6th with Deport 7th. Irate Pluto, another playoff driver, in 8th with Flash playoff driver as well, 9th. Hack 10th, Drake 11th, Outlaw 12th, R. Denny 13th. Our last playoff contender tonight, Kenny, in 14th, Clater in 15th, and Hyro, Dusty Stud, and Brad Ranger rounding out our field of 18 by taking DNQs. So, let's obviously head to the place of interest, the cut line, and the fight to make it in. So right now, we have 2 drivers locked in currently. Mole in the 24 and Tomato in the 17 cars, respectively, are both locked in with their wins at Watkins Glen. And where did we have our first race of this playoff? Martinsville. Wait a minute. Let me think about this, because no, Tomato did not win Martinsville. No, Mole won both of them. But Tomato has just accumulated so much playoff points that he is already locked in just on points alone. So, as for the rest of the field, SP is the 3rd seed currently. He sits 18 points above the cut line. A pretty safe amount, especially over the 4th seed of LRS, who is 7 points above. He carries 11 points above the 4th seed in case anything below the cut line gets pretty crazy. So SP just looking to gather some nice points. LRS, on the other hand, 7 points is definitely not that safe, especially at a track like Michigan. So he's going to have to be on his A game, because sitting in the 5th seed right now is the 9 of Irate Pluto, who sits 7 points below the cut line, trying to fight to get into the Championship 4. He was originally eliminated after the round of 12, but because Brad Ranger had to pull out of the playoffs, Irate Pluto got substituted in and has since made the most of it in looking to capitalize and make the Championship 4. After Irate Pluto, it kind of gets pretty simple. Kenny is 18 points below the cut line. Flash is 19 points below the cut line. And Storm is 27 points below the cut line. So Kenny, Flash, and Storm all essentially they have to win. They have to win to make it into the next round or to make it into the championship. Irate Pluto is the only person right now that can point his way in. I guess theoretically Kenny or Flash could point their way in if SP or if LRS doesn't score any stage points. So, I mean, there is that, but even then it'd be really close. So we'll have to just wait and see. Essentially, all you need to know, I'll have to get to that in a second, but or at least I'm looking at a message from a one driver. Anyways, yeah, that's all there is that needs to be known. SP is the 3rd seed right now. His situation, he's pretty much fine. He just needs to have a good day, score some stage points, and I think he'll be okay. LRS needs to be up front pretty much the entire day to make sure nothing happens to his cut line. I Pluto has to basically do the same. He has to be right up there at the front and score when he can. And Kenny, Storm, and Flash are just going to have to play the long game and try and see through to a victory, which would be, if any one of them were to win, that would be their first win on the season. So that would be a pretty insane way to get their first win. Coming up for the UTLR in the coming week, tomorrow, the Xfinity Series heads to Watkins Glen for the round of 6 elimination that will set up for the round of 4. It's going to be a very exciting race. Elimination race with a road course being the final one. Going to be exciting because that opens the door for a ton of possibilities. Trucks, for the first time since June, is going to be doing back-to-back races. Next week, the Truck Series, July 16th, they will be at Atlanta for the third race of the Championship 4. Next week, same time as well, the Cup Series will be back here at Atlanta, but for their first race of the Championship 4. And then the Xfinity Series will be... Okay, I actually made a mistake. I was looking at the wrong schedule. Cup will actually be at Road America. It's Xfinity that'll be at Atlanta next week. But Cup heads to their first race at Road America, and so for their first Championship 4 race for the Xfinity Series at Atlanta. Well, darn. I don't think anything's been posted about this anywhere, talked about. I think Mr. Storm will talk about it later on. But there's already Season 7 driver signings going on right now. A bunch of movements going on. So that'll be exciting. I think I'll leave that to him to talk about it. But there's some exciting transfers, some very powerful teams from the looks of it, and yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, to say the least. Let me try. On. All right. I'm just helping somebody out at this current moment in time. All right. It's been helped out. This is going to be a pretty exciting race. Last time we were actually at Michigan, we saw a first-time winner. That was H.D. Morton, who unfortunately is not going to be back to defend his crown today. I hope he's doing all well. Let me also check. Okay. All right, I'm working my magic right now. I'm cooking something up. apologize for being quiet. No stream is currently up from the driver's perspective, so gonna have to wait and see how long that's gonna take, but it looks like everyone's in there. I think generally because this is going to be a pretty high stakes race. Race control is going to be pretty strict for tonight. They're going to give them a pretty good talking to. I'm gonna look at UTLR hot news. I haven't seen this in a second. I want to see I especially want to see their odds. What the odds makers have. Who they have for the favorites. I haven't checked the hot news in a second, so I'm interested in seeing what they have. So Tomato is the odds-on favorite to win at plus 200. Then LRS, Mole, and SP Storm being the top 5 most predicted drivers to succeed, or to not succeed, to win the race. Wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise you to know that the top 4 highest predictions are all the current Championship 4 members. Ardeni with the biggest long shots, cheapers. Let me also think here again. I believe that. All right, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm kind of just yapping a little bit, just to kill time because there's not particularly a lot to talk about. I've also been off for a week because of 4th of July, which, speaking of which, I know that was last week, but I hope everyone did enjoy their time out celebrating. I know I sure did. And I think these drivers are very excited to be able to get back on the track and compete. I mean, some drivers got the Xfinity Series race last week, but majority don't race down there, so it's nice to see everyone back in place. What else? Oh yeah, my race prediction pick. I'll do my prediction for the win, and for my prediction for tonight's race victory, I am gonna go out on a limb and say that Dr. Clater finds victory lane tonight and wins, upsetting the playoff field. Well, I guess not really upsetting the playoff field because 3 of them are in must-win. Upsetting their hopes of winning or making the Championship 4, that's for sure. But yeah, I think Clater will get it done tonight. That is my uber pro pick bet take of the century. Looks like everyone's where they need to be, or everyone's in the game. I'm just waiting on 2 more people to join, and then we will get set to go green. Again, 200-mile race. This is equating to 100 laps for tonight's race. Stages are on, black flags are on, and all cautions will be called from the administration team on the track. And I do believe Michigan didn't offer a ton of cautions last time, so I don't think we're in for... wouldn't be expecting... well, actually... No, I would probably expect a little bit more cautions. There's definitely going to be a lot more aggressive moves made this time around than I think last time. Especially coming down for the win. I mean, if you were here with us last time for the last Michigan race, which, I mean, that was a couple months ago, so I doubt it. But, yeah, the 3rd place driver ended up winning, or the driver in 4th or 3rd, I can't remember. It was one of those positions on the last lap. They ended up winning the race. So, yeah, really anything can probably happen on that last lap, especially going down the backstretch with the amount of tow people get, it's going to be absolute madness. But they are rolling the lobby, so we will be able to go green here very shortly. I mean, they'll do their first pace lap, but we'll be going green in probably T minus 3 minutes time, maybe. I mean, that might be a little much, but I don't want to like overestimate it. I want to kind of underestimate it. That makes sense. All right. And who will give me my invite first? I'm going to predict LRS gives me the invite first, which he usually is the person that invites me first. So let's hope. I still haven't gotten my invitation yet, even though they're in. Oh man, please don't tell me they've forgotten me. Oh dear, I do think they've forgotten me. I almost just dropped something. That's why here it is, sudden movement there. I was like, oh, I thought I just dropped something. That would not have been very good. Man, I'm really not. I'm not going to get an invite, am I? Oh, wait. Wait, I think Storm. No, Storm, please. I need one. Yes, he's gonna go get me one. Go, hurry, Storm. This might lag him out, but honestly, please. Thank you, Storm. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see if this lags him out. It's not gonna. Let's go. That's good. Usually when that happens are people that I know that are on the Xbox home screen while they're loading in. Sometimes lag them out. We'll lag them out. So it's a little precarious. They are on their pace lap right now, so you're not really missing any of the action. They will be, yeah, wow, that actually loaded in pretty fast. All right, well, I'm not going to go through the field, but I think I already went through it. Already gridded up for the most part. This will be a 29 lap first stage, or when they hit the green, they'll go 28 laps. Pole sitter LRS is electing the outside lane, which, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I mean, he's going to want it for the backstretch because everyone's going to go to the top to get a massive slipstream. But I don't know, through 1 and 2 might not be the best move. Yes, sip of this. God almighty, damn. So, I mean, they'll go green at the start finish line. After that, they will go green in the restart zone. 18 drivers did all make the field. So this is, as advertised, amount of competitors. So, 8 drivers enter into the Irish Hills, hoping for a chance at the title after this race. We're down to 4. Who will punch their ticket to the championship for as we're underway from Michigan? Mole did not get off the line that well. LRS getting a great push from Storm as they race through 1 and 2. All fanning out. Driver going really high there off of turn 1. My goodness, I think that was Kenny. Down the backstretch they go, and you're not seeing anything. What is this camera? Hello? They all are going down to the bottom now. LRS and his aligned teammate, I guess, or friend Tomato behind. SP making a very quick lunge to the bottom, cycling out Tomato and Mole, Storm and Crimson Sniper, all on the bottom. SP, Irate Pluto, and Depor all making up ground as LRS still maintains the lead. And Irate Pluto doing exactly what he needs to do, although he needs to be up front beating that 43 car. So you already know that 42 behind is going to have to play some immaculate defense if he wants to make that happen. Mole and Tomato are pretty much out here for fun today, competing for the trophy as always. And they damn well might have a really good chance at it. Tomato was leading coming to the white flag last time we were here, and Mole finished runner-up. So very good these drivers are. Big run from Irate Pluto, looking to try and split the middle, but can't quite get there. Irate Pluto going to get in the middle. Storm actually poked down the inside. He has help from his teammate, a Crimson Sniper. This kind of washes Tomato back up. Oh, Mole hard into the wall, and that sends Irate Pluto into Storm. Irate Pluto into Tomato, and the field is all collected, and they are wrecking like hell down the backstretch. That'll be our first caution of the day. Mole being not exactly the catalyst for that, considering he got into the wall, didn't mean to do that, but this is the race to the line. They will stay as is, LRS leading us to the caution flag. And I wouldn't really necessarily fault that on anyone behind. That was more just like Mole made a mistake, which rarely does, so it's shocking in its own sense, but just really nowhere for Irate Pluto to go there. And I was just about to talk about the fact that Pluto might have to rely on his teammate for help, which I don't exactly see Hendrick Motorsports working much together outside of really the super speedways. So it'd be interesting to see how Irate Pluto can maybe manage this, and maybe if he's talked to Mole about potentially working things out with him. I don't think they have their fourth entry in, which is the 5 car. I'm looking through it right now. Yeah, no, the 5 car is not in the field today. It's usually driven by Mountain Ranger. But anyways, pit road is open. This is coming to lap 6. Our original caution came on lap 4. And I think, as evident with those opening laps, I think your best chance of victory, at least, or best chance to get up into the lead, you got to break the 42 and 43 apart. Because I'm pretty sure that 42, who is better on points than the 43, is going to be trying to keep that 43 locked to him all night. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some sort of alternative pit strategy, maybe go rights only, maybe some fuel, but it looks like it's more or less going to be all equal off the pit box. We're going to take like 4 tires and fuel to try and make it to the end, and I'm curious to see what Mr. Ranger is going to do here, because, well, I said earlier someone need my help. Brad Ranger actually wants some advice for how to prepare his car for this, so I gave him something. I'm hoping that this works for him, and if it doesn't, then I'll be pretty not cool. I believe they'll be choosing at the start-finish line. I really do wish that we had an alternative. Just because this track's pretty long. And we're going to be kind of under caution for a little bit. Now we just got to play the waiting game. They are going to be choosing, as I did mention, at the line, and don't be surprised to see them go. The leaders go to the bottom. They'll both go. Oh, some drivers coming in for a second pit stop. Where those drivers? Dusty Stud had some damage to his car. Irate Pluto's in. Tomato's also coming in, and Brad Ranger. No, sorry, that's Ardeni. Ardeni, Irate Pluto, and Dusty Stud are all entering the pits. Tomato is further right in the back. Ooh, he was further up front, so I'm a little confused as to why he's all the way in the back. And this was also a possibility that I didn't even think about. SP and LRS both going to lock out the front row, and they'll try and control the field on this restart so that they can get back together off of turn 2, or maybe just down the front straightaway, and continue to push each other. Drivers are all out of the pits. I believe this was to top off on fuel, that being the reason why they came back in. So could we potentially be seeing some fuel strategy? Maybe the drivers that are ahead of this 3 car, maybe they are in a bit of a pickle for making it to the end of stage number 1. It's definitely food for thought as we prepare to go green again. Deport Eddie is currently residing in the 4th position. And I will say that a seat for season 7 could potentially rely, or no, I don't want to spoil anything. Well, I don't know if it's really spoiling, but yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, SP is the control car, and SP goes pretty late in the restart zone. We're back underway. LRS did not get that great of a launch compared to his teammate. Not much to fall in line. Mole gets a really good launch as per usual, just behind the leader, and actually can't hold on to that 2nd position as LRS will slide back into 2nd. Everyone gonna be fighting to get back on the top. Mole left out to dry. Storm, who is one of those drivers that is below the cut line, needs to be aggressive. Well, he usually is pretty aggressive, but you're going to probably be seeing a different kind of side of Storm tonight, who desperately wants to win. And I would say, to say the least, this has not been the season he's exactly been expecting. He has gone winless so far, and yeah, to say the least, this is a win that's been alluring him his whole season, and it's gonna have to come today or not, because yeah, but he's gonna have a big run. Oh my goodness, he went all the way below the apron. He almost damn wrecked the thing going into turn 3. He turned so late, he almost went into the grass and wrecked himself, and might have damn well cost himself 3rd place. Deport, where in the world is he going? He's got no backing for the middle to work. Clater's actually going to work with Storm here as they enter into turn 1. Mole along the outside. He's making that stick all by himself. Now to turn 2, SP gets real loose. Clater got a big run here, getting pushed by Crimson Sniper. Storm goes below LRS. LRS left the door wide open for the one to take it, and now Storm's going to take 2nd from the 43. That splits up the Legacy Motor Club, but SP is going to try and break that toe, keep the outside lane afloat with his draft, but it's not really going to work. Numbers advantage is going to favor the bottom. Going into 1 just like that, Storm takes the race lead here at Michigan. He was our 5th highest, I get quote, betted race winner, so this is a track he generally is pretty good at, and you can already see he is blocking like hell. And Crimson Sniper, I know usually when I shout him out, he doesn't exactly, you know, do well. Well, he does well, but he doesn't really finish well. But he is currently having a great start to his race, running in 3rd, and is about to take over 2nd from his teammate. Oh, wait, what the hell is going on back here? Eric Pluto and Tomato are both in the grass. What are they doing? And why is Mole in the grass? Why is everyone going into the grass? This is ridiculous. LRS almost got absolutely dumped because of it. And it's an absolute pigsty back here. What in the world is going on behind the leaders? Dusty Stud, where did he come from? He started like last. Storm makes contact with SP, and that's going to cause a bit of a checkup on the outside lane. Flash Champ, who is another driver who needs to win this race in order to make it to the next round, he's going to go underneath Crimson Sniper, split up the teammates. And now Dusty Stud with the assist to his technically aligned teammate of SP. That was who I was thinking it was. Oh, contact again between the 1 and the 42. I do think the 42 might be turning in a little bit into the 1 car. I think that might be why they're still making contact. Flash Jam's trying to go up the middle. He's abandoning his inside lane friend, and Mole's trying to go with him, trying to get in front of Storm, and it damn well might work. No, Storm forcing it in there. 4 wide momentarily, 3 wide now for second. Big help coming from the inside lane. Mole, Hack, and Brad. No, that is High Road. That's in the 19 because they both are sponsored by Bass Pro Shop. It's very hard to figure that out. Where is Irie Pluto in all this, you may ask? Well, he's the first car out of this pack back there. But because they're battling so heavily, I think they might have a chance. Hack puts LRS almost up into the wall, as you just saw behind Clader. And they are really going to be messing themselves up here. SP still leads. Big run from the outside lane. That's really where everyone is. And I guess the outside lane, you know, you never really talk about it, but when you're running in a draft at Michigan like this is the kind of the super speedway-esque racing we're talking about. I think the outside lane's almost preferred just because of the freedom you have to kind of get in. But Storm, as you're seeing from Clader's on board, what Storm's doing is he's trying to minimize the amount of ground that SP can use, and he's trying to expand his corner entry or expand his arc into the corner by like hitting SP and not allowing SP to kind of arc in and take enough ground. And because of this, as you see, Storm's able to pull away by doing this. That was some Larry Mack analysis if I've ever heard any. They're 3 wide now currently for third. Dusty Stud around the outside. Hack actually tried to pull low. He's not going to really gain anything from it. We're currently sitting at 14 laps to go left in stage number 1. SP looking for the move. Faked low, went high, still has help from Dusty Stud up into turns 3 and 4. Storm going to wash up the track just a little bit. He's going to have to fight off both these lanes. They got major runs on both of them. Tomato, I saw a little while ago, he was like back in maybe 12th. Now he's up into the top 10, which isn't that big of a ground, but he was outside the pack, so that's pretty big in itself. Out of turn 2. Storm doing a really nice job of managing the pack, and there's Drake spinning like hell out of turn number 2 into the inside wall. That is only 1 car, so we're not going to be seeing a caution fly for that. But nonetheless, a pretty nasty hit. From the sniper just getting knocked up the track like he doesn't even exist. That's unfortunate. You see the outside lane of just 3 cars. They're hanging on strong because of them running up high to the wall in the straightaway. And Mole giving Storm a huge push going into turn 1. And Hack, oh my god, just doored SP. Oh my god, Hyro just lost his control of his car, hit D-port, and they were all sorts of sideways. I think if you saw that in the back of your screen, you saw that. And now Hack's going for the race lead. There's too much going on right now. Hack going underneath Mole. And Hack got a really nice showing at Martinsville. Oh, damn. SP, a little bit of a bump to the 24. And look at that. That is no man's land. You do not want to be on the top right now. But wow, they are actually going at it. Holy cow. Cow. I was about to say crap and cow. And now we have crap. It's ridiculous. 3 wide now for the race lead. Hack, I thought, was just about to absolutely kill Storm and then murk the rest of the field. Storm's going down the sucker hole. He's got no help in the middle. And as the race into turn 3 and 4, SP will now take back the race lead. And Tomatoes found himself up in the top 4. How, again, where did he come from? I have no idea, but he's now back up in, actually, this is the top 5. Top 4, if you dare say. 10 laps to go now. And you're watching Hack completely miss this corner and come down. Contact between Mole and Hack. Hack into the outside wall. Mole into LRS. And LRS, I don't even know where. Oh, there's LRS. He's rejoining the track. I'm like, wait, where did LRS go? Because I know he just got hit. I had no idea where he went. He rejoined relatively safely. And as the race into turn 4 goes, SP will now take back the race lead. And Tomatoes found himself up in the top 4. How, again, where did LRS go? Because I know he just got hit. I had no idea where he went. He rejoined relatively safely. Irie Pluto has some nasty front end damage. That might be an explanation as to why he's not running well. But this helps his case because he's got to beat LRS if he wants a chance for some stage points. Right now, SP's really doing all he needs to do. He's still running up front. He's running his race in position to score some solid stage points. Here's Kenny, who is trying to work with Storm, but is hitting the inside lane drivers. I'm not exactly certain what the meta is there. Storm, this is the meta for him, goes down the inside with a big run. He takes over 4th place from Tomato, but Tomato, ridiculous mid-corner speed, and he's going to try and fight off Storm. The outside lane actually has a pretty nice group working itself. And now LRS, sensing that this is his only chance to make up ground, is actually having to work with his cut line rival for some momentary gains. They are 4 wide further back in your screen. Crimson Sniper just sent Flash Jams up into High Road, and he saved it. No caution or no actual wrecking of any kind there. That was pretty wild. Oh, okay. Wow, they're really going after it. I think Crimson Sniper's beefing with someone. I think he was beefing with, like, High Road, or he was beefing with someone, and it wasn't really good. 3 wide here. Irie Pluto and Dusty Stud. Oh my God! Dusty Stud and SB almost completely murked Irie Pluto. That was ridiculously close. Oh my God. I thought that Irie Pluto just got killed. I thought he ran square into the back of SP. That was not good. And it does look like what previously mentioned of a fuel strat is coming into play here now. I'm looking at Storm's stream, and he has only 3 laps left on his fuel. So he is going to have to, and it looks like everyone else is going to have to come into pit. Yes, there goes LRS. I believe that's also High Road. And Tomato, no, Tomato stays out. So who stayed out? Brad, what? The Sniper was reversed into pit road. That's not good. I think Brad Ranger's another one that, no, Brad Ranger had to come in. I believe this is for damages. So Irie Pluto now leads just about. I'm actually not certain how many laps there are left in this. Oh my God, 4 wide. What did I come back to just see? That is scary. But we're all good. Anyways, Irie Pluto's now coming into the pits. They have now hit 5 laps to go remaining in stage number 1, and Tomato retains the race lead. Plater moves into 2nd. Mole sits 3rd. After Mole, I think that's Flash Champ who's behind him. There's a Sniper exiting off of pit road. And I'm not sure. No, I think these guys already pitted. And they only took, like, rights or some fuel. Only for their pit stops. Let's see. Did Plater and Tomato pit? They are pitting now. Oh, my God. Tomato almost missed it. That would have been potentially race-ending mistake right there. Mole now leads. This is 4 laps to go. He's leading quite a big pack behind him. It's actually being led by Flash Champ. And all these guys are currently sitting 1 lap down. So your Irie Pluto comes back. And, of course, 2 cannon. And to build up the anticipation, he joins right alongside his cut line rival of LRS. There's Tomato and Plater exiting. Irie Pluto had to sacrifice his corner entry because of them. Not really because of them, but in avoidance of them. And it looks like all these other guys actually were just staying out. Or, no, Hack and Flash had not pit yet. Mole is now in the pits as well. LRS leads this group of drivers that had pit already. SP lost touch with them. So we'll see how Mole kind of fares, because he had no drafting help. And we are currently at 3 laps to go. Yes, 3 laps to go. And Mole, I don't know what kind of rejoin that was, but that was not exactly sure. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It didn't really hurt. It didn't really affect anything. So I guess we're still fine. 3 laps to go remain in stage number 1. LRS leading over Dusty Stud and Irate Pluto. Pluto desperately needs this stage win. That would be, I mean, just really good. He needs to beat LRS if he wants a chance at making this. And if LRS even outscores him in this stage, it pretty much eliminates the chance of him being able to make up ground. And you see he's trying something here. 2 laps to go. He's got to try something. Goes to the outside with Tomato. That could work if done right, but I don't think there's much to build off of there. Out of turn 2, nothing to it. They all stack up on the bottom. Dusty Stud going to be pretty much loyal to his teammate of, well, I guess technical teammate of Dusty Stud and LRS. I think I messed that up, but the 47 and the 43 are technical teammates. I probably already said that. Anyways, green and white flag is out. 1 lap to go here in stage 1, and they are all training on the bottom. The real question is, can anyone get by the 47? Because I'm pretty sure, well, it looks like they're going to build up a run. I think Clater's trying to plan something here. Let's see here. Off of turn number 2. Where do they go? Right into the back of the 47. That's where they go. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Tomato with a big run around the outside. And coming out of 4. I mean, Dusty left the door open there towards the end, but it's going to be LRS winning stage number 1. And I believe with... Okay. So with Irate Pluto finishing 5th, I believe he finished 5th there. Let me do some quick math. Yeah, so he finished 5th. 4 points. 4... Okay, so Irate Pluto's now 11 points down on LRS at the cut line, which is still possible, but I think, let's see, if he gets beaten in stage 2 again, then he is gonna he absolutely has to win if he gets beaten again. So yeah, pretty exciting first stage. Dusty Stud will lead us to the second one with Tomato and Clater behind. Here we go into the restart zone. 47 is the control car, and off and away we go. Stage 2 underway. And it's a very nice getaway from Dusty Stud. Storm in the back actually did not get going and dropped off completely with the rest of the outside lane. That was definitely not good, and that's going to cause a lot of people to stack up, including playoff driver Kenny, who has not had the best start to his race. He's going to have to really lock in this last stage. Check out High Road making that 3-wide move. That was pretty gutsy. I liked it. High Road looking to the inside of Irate Pluto. Can't quite get there. Lap number 1 at this stage, led by Dusty Stud. What a move by LRS. Really aggressive down to the bottom. Almost shades of Storm from about a stage ago. Maybe some inspiration from there. Although, don't think it'll pan out because everyone is on the outside lane and nobody, barring Irate Pluto, is on the inside lane. And actually, I think Irate Pluto should have probably just stuck to the inside there because that allows SP and LRS to get up together. Isn't this like a weird kind of tandem drafting of the early 2010s? We have Legacy Motor Club tandem drafting. We have two Ford teammates working together. Well, actually, no, they're not Fords. Never mind. Well, one of them is, but one of them isn't. We have Hendrick working together. We have Joe Gibbs working together. I mean, this is pretty crazy. And we got Trackhouse working with the 24, but the 24 just got put in the wall by Deport. That's not good. And Storm is dropping like a rock all the way into the back. He's going to have a lot of ground to make up for this next stage. Oh, boy. Or not for this next stage, but for this run. And Flash Champs, who... I don't think we've really said his name much so far. He is also in a must-win. And he's doing a really solid job in the beginning of this stage. Running well on the bottom. He's getting pushed by another playoff driver, Irate Pluto, whom I'm not exactly sure what Flash Champ might be thinking, like how he might feel about getting pushed by another driver. And also, think about it. If Flash Champ, oh my god, Flash Champ just lag punched Irate Pluto, and that could have caused something really bad. And actually, LRS is going to dive to the bottom because of it. It opened up the door, and we were starting to see, oh, it might be just Irate Pluto lagging, because he is swerving all across, and he's actually going to pull down low. Not good for the potential playoff contender, for the playoff contender. He's still lagging just a little bit. Dusty Stud, LRS, and SP still working together on the bottom. Oh, and Irate Pluto got loose off of turn 4. Almost up and into someone. He has dropped all the way to the rear. Not good as what is happening up front. LRS and SP are going absolutely crazy. Dusty Stud's trying to make the outside lane work to moderate success so far. He's got help from Storm up above. And really no one else. What is with that camera view? Clater is spinning back up into the front of the field. Oh my god, and it's absolutely everyone. It's a junkyard on the back straightaway. Our Denny's involved, Drake's involved, Loadbroke's involved, Kenny's involved, Brad Ranger's involved. Massive crash, and the caution will come out. And it's going to be a drag race to the line. I think that's going to go to Tomato there, and it is. Tomato leads us to the caution. Man, that was a really nasty crash. I looked back on the camera. I'm sure all of you saw that too. Look back on the camera. I see Clater going through the, I guess not really the infield. This is more of the apron. And he's coming back up the track. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. And bam, Loadbroke absolutely door checks him. And massive crash follows. So not exactly very good. Which this is going to bring out our second caution for cause of the day. Pit road will be open this time. And I think everyone's going to be coming in. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty tired. I've been up for a very long time today. And, kind of sleepy. Might, hit the sack after this race, which I think is still a term that people use. Hit the sack when they want to go to sleep. Yeah, I believe so. So when they hit when they hit pit road, let's see, it'll be 20 laps to go right now because they crossed the start finish line. So they are good to the end on fuel. So we won't be seeing any more pit stops for this stage. So they'll throw on 4 tires and fuel and then be off and on their way. Hey, the Cubs won. Woohoo! Off of pit road, Tomato maintains the lead. Maintains it over LRS. And they'll be back choosing at the line next time by. Hope everyone in the Watkins Glen area is doing okay, by the way. Uncertain if our, I guess not influence, but if our broadcasts reach out to that area, but seen through the Watkins Glen International Twitter account that there have been some storms that have passed through the area and potential tornado warnings. And hoping everyone up there, if you're around that area in upstate New York, is okay and have seen that it's passed through. So So just adding that. Hope y'all are okay up there. After 50,000 hours of this pace lap, we will do another one because we're choosing at the line now. Tomato and LRS will both elect to go to the bottom. Just realized. Okay, so for Canadians, even though I don't think that Canadians, there are any Canadians that race here, I believe that, okay, that their home races are either going to be Michigan or Watkins Glen, because I can't think, no, Road America, what am I saying? Road America, Michigan, Watkins Glen, and New Hampshire are kind of the only tracks that are like, for if you're a Canadian, those are your closest NASCAR tracks. Although I don't think Road America is really ran in NASCAR anymore, so I don't think that's an opportunity. But I'm interested in hearing about like what their home track, what your home track would be if you're up north. If you're up north, this would kind of be fun to hear. We're going green at the line, or no, sorry, at the restart zone. Tomato will be in control on the bottom. And both restarts, we've had the control car be on the bottom so far. All except for the start of the race where the leader elected the outside lane. So generally assume that the inside lane is going to be good. But the outside lane, at least for this time, did not get that bad of a start, albeit they are about car length behind the leader. Green flag. We are back underway from Michigan. 18 laps to go remaining in the stage. Getting up to speed here as we exit off of turn number 2. Tomato still leads Kenny up into the outside wall, and we have a multi-car crash again. It's load broke, it's Ardeni, and it's, my goodness, someone else spun. Actually, yeah, no, I think it was Brad Ranger that was involved, but only one car is around, so I don't think we're actually going to see a caution as they're 3 wide currently for second. LRS, Dusty Stud, and Storm 3 wide, and they're all being pushed by drivers. Oh my god, that is a sight to see. If I could get that, well, only they were still 3 wide. No caution there, so we're still racing as it is right now. Out of turn 2. Storm's had a really good restart. He's already looking to the inside of Dusty Stud and actually going to go to the inside with him. Now into 3 and 4. And Flash Champ also working the bottom. Pluto's poking back there as well. Storm's looking every conceivable lane to try and get around Dusty Stud and get up into the lead, because I guess that's where he's most comfortable. One car wants to be up in the front. And I do not blame him. Out of turn 2. Dusty Stud got the door opened for him. And now Storm's going to have help with Flash Champs behind. Into 3 and 4. New leader once again, the one of Storm. As you see, Tomato actually got the worst end of this. He got shuffled into the outside lane, or all the way outside lane. He's up there 3 wide now, dropping to the back. Into 1 and 2, Storm opened the door wide open for Flash Champs, and he did not take it right away. Still a big run on the inside lane. Outside starting to gather up some numbers with the technically aligned team that is now currently making a charge to the top. And now into 3 and 4, Dusty Stud is still side by side with Storm. Can't really get anything there, but there is now a significantly lesser amount of drivers on the bottom than there is to the top. And Dusty Stud's going to get some big help going into 1 and 2. Big luncher can be expected from the 1. He's going to wash up just a little bit. Ack actually got washed out of line, but he rejoined. LRS a little love tap into the wall. Storm just has no help on that bottom lane whatsoever. And into 3 and 4, Dusty Stud clears back into the race lead. Now it's just a matter of controlling the lanes. Dusty Stud electing to still work with the outside lane that got him to where he is now. That inside lane is just lacking the numbers and speed that the outside lane can generate down the backstretch and the front stretch. It is... I'm glad I caught that when I did, because I was just opening my home just to make sure that I was still in party. And, well, I just disconnected from a party, which happens a bit when I'm streaming, so it's a little weird. Anyways, Storm, a little bit extra insurance there using the door to try and get the lead. Yeah, that outside lane completely disintegrated. Everyone's on the bottom now. And Storm actually has adequate help coming from the front bumper of the 18. Drake is having a pretty darn good run right now. He's currently sitting in the top, it's top 6. Can't really say top 5. LRS, I know he was looking for that 3-wide move down the middle. Couldn't quite find it. Back into 3 and 4, Dusty washes up the track just a little bit. Slightest contact to the rear end of the 1, and the 1, I don't think either he got loose or didn't really like that little bit of contact from the 47, but regardless, Dusty Stud is back into the race lead, and they're 3 wide behind him for second place, and Storm washed up right into LRS, and that's going to drop LRS out of line. Although, might actually be fine because this is going to merge into the outside lane. SP had a big moment down the backstretch, and now Storm looking to take the lead again. The Stud and Storm have been swapping the lead almost every single lap. It's been crazy. Still impressed with the fact that the outside lane has not really changed. SP, though, gonna almost force Drake into the grass trying to get to the bottom. Not going to work, and I mean, that was a hefty attempt from the 42 to get to the bottom, and still trying to attempt it. He even puts Mole below the apron, which I don't think he's going to be too happy with, and SP going right down the sucker hole, facing the similar fate to his friend. Irate Pluto getting a little tight out of the corner, and he just now gets into control of his car. He just bit laughing. I'm laughing. I thought it was pretty funny that he's trying to catch the car. How about Drake again? Going to the inside is going to take second. I've seen Drake running this high in a while. So nice to see this now in the front stretch. Drake looking for the move. Tried to fake high, go low. Didn't get it done. Dusty going to now pull high. No help there on the outside, though. But he damn well might not need it. Now out of turn number 2, Drake thought he was clear of Dusty, but was not, and put Dusty up into the wall. Almost ended up costing himself and T-Port, but they managed to hold on, so all good there. Drake's still going to hold on to that second place spot for the time being. Storm commanding both lanes at this moment. And it looks to be that Storm might be a little low on fuel. No, actually he's good on fuel. 8 laps to go right now at the line. Or at the line back then. The stream's a little behind for me. And look at this big move from Deeport, who's gone all the way down the inside. Help from Tomato, Clater, and Irate Pluto. Gonna unfortunately shuffle Drake out of line. And now Deeport's gonna move up into second. Where is he? There he is. All right, coming to 7 laps to go in stage number 2. And it is all getting squirrely in the back. Irate Pluto's made up a ton of ground. He needs this, although who he does not need right behind him is exactly the person he's trying to beat. LRS right all over the back bumper of the 9. And Crimson Sniper got real tight there. They're 4 wide for the back there. Keep your eye on that for the time being. They're all good. Now, side by side. Wow, actually, I thought they were side by side for the lead. I kind of forgot Storm was still there, but don't really matter. Well, not that it doesn't matter he's leading, but it doesn't matter in the sense that it doesn't change anything. Anyways, 6 laps to go. Tomato's got a big run. Will he go to the outside with Eric Pluto? Doesn't quite go. Storm still holding on to that inside lane aggressively, and LRS bumper to the back of the 9 moves him up the track. And Eric Pluto's going to lose some ground, wash up into Dusty Stud, and now he's hitting Drake, he's hitting everyone, and SP is spinning like a top down the backstretch. Major hit. My God, he probably spun like 8 times. That was rough. Good Lord. He's going to be okay, but he's not going to gain any stage points, which, no, come to think of it, if he's not going to get any stage points, he might actually be in jeopardy here of Irate Pluto, because Pluto, oh no, that's actually going to constitute a caution, and Depor got into the back of Mole. I didn't think that was going to be a caution because it was just one car, but I guess someone else got caught up in the incident. I think it might have been Ardeni, I'm not sure, but caution has come out with 5 laps to go. Again, there is no caution, like there is no limit to when the caution can be called in the stages. In the race, after they hit 5 laps to go, there is no more cautions in the race. So in the stages, like a stage can end under caution, but yeah. So we will probably have a natural green, white checkered for our, what is going on back there? I think I missed it, but I think there's some beef. Oh yeah, there's beef. Ardeni and SP are beefing. That's crazy. And Loadbroke just doesn't want to get involved in it. Must be dropping in the rear. Alright, pit road's open. Who dares come in? And pretty much everyone except... No, I thought Depor was about to stay out. He did not stay out. He actually came into pit. And everyone's going to come into pit. Which is kind of funny. Which is kind of funny. My goodness, I've been yawning like hell. I do apologize. It's not that the actions on track's not exciting. I'm just really tired. Goodness gracious. So is anyone going to take some obscure pit strategy? Of course Storm is. He is probably going fuel only. High Road and Crimson Sniper and Drake and Clater all taking that same strategy. And some drivers taking tires, some not. That is going to be interesting when we go green in a couple laps time. So we're not going single file. Alright. Well, let's see what happens, man. This is a bold move. We'll see if it pays off. So, I believe the first drivers to actually take home. Can this camera... Oh my gosh. Listen, look at this. That's ridiculous. They're already over halfway down the backstretch before the camera even changes. That is ridiculous. By God is my witness. Anyways, Storm, High Road, and Crimson Sniper are all the 3 drivers that I assume did not take any tires. And mostly just went for fuel. Everyone else, I believe, came in. Some people came in for rights and some people came in for 4. Or they just all came in for 4 and these guys took rights. It's possible. I chose right there. I won't lie, I was a little bit preoccupied looking at my phone because I am addicted to it. And Storm and Crimson Sniper elect to go to the outside lane, which is the first time since the drop of the green flag that anyone has elected to go and restart on the top. But they are teammates and they want to try and get a good launch, knowing that High Road might not be able to get that good of a jump. I know it is an assumption. We'll have to see. Irate Pluto is pretty far behind LRS, so he's going to have to make up some ground here on these 2 laps. Let me go to Irate Pluto and get off that camera. All right. So let's try and do some sightseeing here. We'll look in 3 and 4 is when our best case scenario is. So Ari Pluto currently sits 11 points below the cut line. It's unlikely LRS is not going to score stage points here. All you need to know is he's second in line on the bottom, right up there with the bumper. He's in the Eric Jones 43. So yeah, Ari Pluto's got some work to do right here. Otherwise, he is going to be demoted from a point his way in situation to a must win, which everyone below the cut line would be a must win, including who already is in a must win situation, our current race leader of Storm, who will lead us into the Geico restart zone. And as predicted, or at least by me, Pyro did not get that good of a jump. We are back underway from Michigan, and Flash Champ's also going to gain on them greatly. He's going to try and go side by side for third, but Trackhouse opens up a 2-car advantage, and Crimson Sniper is now just going to have to try and play defense. He already goes high to try and block Flash Champs, and Storm going all over the track to try and defend this run. High Road has a huge run, getting pushed by LRS. LRS actually getting out of shape there with such a big push. Mole, who took 4 tires, is going to go all by himself to the front on his own. Mole to the lead. He's got help from Plater. Green and white flag is out. Last lap of stage number 2. I didn't even see him coming. Mole takes the lead for the first time today, and in emphatic fashion, and Storm puts the bumper to the 24. He moves him up the track. Flash goes in between. 4 wide for second in turn 2. Storm getting bottled around. Big crash on the back straightaway. Storm's involved. Hack's involved. And it looks like High Road's involved. Into 3 and 4. LRS sends it 3 wide on the inside. Has to back out there. Tomato now to his inside. Land rush out of turn number 4. Flash cuts across everyone. They're fighting like hell to the line. Oh my god. And it's going to be Mole that wins the stage. And Jesus Christ, that was a massive fucking crash. I mean, they crashed like hell coming out of turn number 2. And Flash, I don't know what I just watched, but he got hooked, almost threw someone into the pits. That was pretty bad. Oh dear, and Irate Pluto has not scored any stage points that stage, which unfortunately means that for the likes of Kenny, Flash Champ, Storm, and now Irate Pluto, he is going to have to be in a must-win situation in order to make the championship 4. So, repeating, the 18, the 8, the 1, and the 9, all those drivers who are currently below the cut line are now must-win situation drivers. So, yeah, that's obviously going to produce some, like, extremely fine and maybe not questionable moments down the line, but we'll have to wait and see on that. It doesn't really matter anymore. Green flag is back out. We are racing again in stage number 3 for 38 laps. It's actually I actually wasn't expecting this to be that short of a stage. I was kind of expecting this to be more like 50 laps, but this is about like 12 laps quicker than what I thought it was going to be. I did previously mention that this is the first time Mole had led all day. I still believe that's true. It's just more or less surprising is all. I mean, he had been involved in some prior incidents. And here's my pick my pick for the win. Plater working the outside lane. He's got a big push from Dusty Stud and LRS on the top, and he's going to side draft the 24 going into turn 1 and 2. Flash, big push to the 24. Now out of 2. Run's going to be with the outside. Mole got tight. He's doing a great job of controlling both lanes and making sure that he doesn't get passed up by any of them, although it does allow Plater to get side by side with him again. No immediate help for that 21 car. He's going to really need it, but he is going to get a bit of draft. Absolute scenes further back. 2 by 2, maybe like 10 rows deep. Absolutely wild. Out of 2 again. Plater's got a much better run. He has the opportunity to make the move. Mole has no immediate help and should, for all intents and purposes, have the better run going into 3 and 4. Kind of turned down into him, which hurt his run. But because of that, there is no more help on that inside lane, and Clader going to tuck down in and actually work with the 24 now. That's unfortunate for the outside lane. And Tomato going to waste an opportunity and try and go down the inside of Flash Champs, who went into the middle. LRS going around the outside, 3 wide. This should favor LRS going down the backstretch. And no, because he didn't quite have immediate help, lanes are pretty evenly split. Tomato and Clader, I must add, have been working together pretty much all night. And same way we've seen LRS and, well, Dusty Stud and LRS just got separated, which is what I was just about to say, but they had been working together all night long, and I'd say Clader and Tomato have done the same thing as well. They have been hooked onto each other's noses, and wow, that's going to cause a stack up. D-port almost into the grass. Let's get a checkup on our must-win situation drivers. Let's start here with Flash. We'll give an update. So Flash, as you can currently see, has been pretty good on some occasions. He hasn't really had the short run success, and it's definitely taken him some time to work back up to the front. However, when he gets to the front, kind of falters and falls back a little bit, which is similarly to the case of Storm, who is also in a must-win and was leading with 2 laps to go after that caution. He has led a majority of the laps today, and unfortunately has found himself pretty far back, so he's going to have to work pretty hard to get back up to the front. But you see, crossing over Flasher, who made a mistake. He's not going to get any draft, but it's nonetheless going to be tough from Storm. Then we got the 9 of Irate Pluto, who I probably talked about him maybe the most of all the championship, or below the cut line championship 4 members. Wow, that was a really aggressive bump. That's not going to help Irate Pluto's case that much. Or Flash, I probably would assume, is not too happy with that either. Yeah, but he just got booted. And anyway, Irate Pluto started off 7 below the cut line, and it's just gone from bad to worse. And he's just going to need to win to try and keep his championship hopes alive. Which leads us to our 4th and final driver below the cut line, which is Kenny. And I maybe have mentioned Kenny's name once so far, other than maybe him being in a crash. I've only mentioned Kenny 1 time prior. He has been really quiet all day long, and I'm thinking that this might be something that either is going to stay the same for the rest of the race, and he is going to have just a really quiet race and go out quietly, or he's just patiently waiting and hoping for the chance to strike. And right now, this seems to be the case, because this is, to my knowledge, the highest he has been all day. This is Commentator's Curse at its absolute peak. There's no crash behind, so there's no caution. But that is going to split up some drivers right there. And yeah, after all that yapping, who's out front? Well, we don't know yet, because there's still all to play for. And we have a breakaway for the first time today under green. This is the top 6 that have all broken away. LRS, Dusty Stud, Mole, Tomato, SP, Clader. Wouldn't you know it, all of these guys... Oh, Clader just put SP up into Mole, and SP's gone around. Only 1 car involved in that, but SP's coming back up on the track. I don't think that's going to be very good. Nope, it was just SP. He managed to not get any damage from that, but that is definitely unfortunate. However, if I'm SP in this situation, would not be fretting over this, because if you've been in the game as long as SP has been, pretty sure that you would expect a caution to come out maybe later, just with how aggressive these drivers have been. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Although, if I'm Flash Champs or Irate Pluto, I would be sweating right now. Irate Pluto, especially considering he's not in the draft. This is definitely not how he envisioned this race going, and it started off really well for him. So, I said earlier that is gone from bad to worse. and I don't mean that it's been like a bad start to his race. I mean, he was running top 5 pretty well and had a really good car, but fortunately, he went bad in this situation for his playoff hopes because LRS had won the first stage and, well, he didn't score any points in the second one. So, yeah, not exactly good on that front. Kenny, on the other hand, is actually in really good position right now. I mean, I say good position only because he's in this main pack, and of the drivers below the cut line, only him and Storm are in this one. So, yeah, he's looking pretty fine right now, I'd say the least. And Brad Ranger, who has had a pretty rough go of this race so far, has finally found a rhythm and has managed the chaos behind him beautifully. He's up now working with this main pack, and they are all going absolutely haywire. I'm not sure what the play is there. However, I would expect pit stops to be coming in the next like 8 laps. So maybe just trying to all get to the bottom, trying to work to get to there. Which next pit stop, 4 tires and fuel, or in max fuel. No real question marks as far as what the strategy is. It's just going to be a matter of execution. And Storm has worked his way up into 4th. Unfortunately, doesn't really have his teammate with him, which everyone else in the front kind of has that advantage that they all kind of have like a teammate to work with or like an aligned partner. Storm doesn't exactly have that, but he does have some Chevy connections. So we'll hope to see if that works. He has Chevy connections with LRS and Dusty Stud, and kind of with Mole. Obviously, the manufacturer connections, I think, mean a little bit less, just because you're driving a similar make doesn't really mean anything. But, you know, you got to find friends where you can. And Storm absolutely sent it on the outside lane trying to make that work. And LRS actually got driven up the track, almost hit the wall, got tight. Now Dusty Stud and Clater are going to be working the bottom. This is... I actually didn't realize. That was RCR! Wow, that was a really, really close moment right there. Storm did something similar he did in the first stage and almost completely wiped out Mole. Thank God he managed to keep that going. That could have been really, really bad. Now looking inside of Clater for second. I didn't realize RCR is having a really good day. Like, I kind of forgot Brad Ranger and Kenny were both on RCR. I didn't even notice that, but that's cool to see that they're running well right now. Inside in 3 and 4, LRS trying to pinch down Storm, but Storm having none of it, going right underneath them. Tomato gonna join in, go underneath him as well. Brad Ranger, gotta be careful with your teammate, bro. That's the playoff driver. You do not want to lose that position. In 1-2, Storm gonna go underneath Clater again. Lunge it, and he's gonna lunge it in deep. Hits the 47 of Dusty Stud, bumps him up the track. Oh, and Dusty Stud trying to pinch him off. Storm trying to keep that line steady. Man, he has really been aggressive tonight, and he's turned it up even more so now. A little bit of a bump from the back of the 43. There's still nose to tail. See, the outside lane doesn't really have any traction. Here, actually, that's not very good timing for this. Let me check in here. Make sure they're all good through here before I go back. Yeah, it looks like they'll be more or less the fine. Wow, I have reached new lows. Anyways, so we've watched a lot of this first pack. Let's take a peek at this second pack. Kind of being led by Crimson Sniper here. He's fallen out of the first pack and is probably going to get caught up by the second one, which is being led by High Road. Deeport then follows with Irate, Pluto, and Flash and Drake behind. Ardeni just a little bit behind them. And I think they are kind of being helped out in the fact that this is how they're running. The problem is that both lanes with the amount of cars they have are equal to the amount of cars that lane has, so it's not really gonna be hurting them by the running side by side. Although maybe. We are good to the end, by the way. on pit stops. If there is a caution, we are good on one more pit stop. And Storm just got absolutely eaten alive for that position. How about that? He dropped all the way down to 5th. Dusty Stud back into the race lead. And I'd say it's been, like, as far as the battle for the lead, despite neither of them having won a stage, they have both combined to lead the majority of this race. At least in my eyes. They'll have to pit in about 2 more laps, is the look of it from Storm's perspective. Dusty Stud looking to try and defend LRS, or maybe trying to signal that he's going to pit. Storm has a big run. He's trying to look to the inside of LRS. And I'd say he's got to be careful, especially if they're going to be coming into pits. See, a lot of these drivers are pulling out high, so that could mean that they're going to come pit. Yes, it is LRS and Dusty Stud coming in. Kenny also comes into the pits, as does the majority of the second pack. And this is big because this is really what's going to make or break your race right now. And what can really separate this main pack is you got to stick together. You got to make sure that you got someone you're working with. And you cannot mess up exit or entry. Because if you do, you'll lose the draft, and then it's just game over from there. Especially with the decreasing amount of numbers, this is going to mean even more. Here they go for our second round of pit stops. Storm really lunges into the pits, actually gets in, and I think Storm actually made it. I thought for sure that he had sped. Flash Champs actually stayed out and gained a little bit, but everyone else comes in more or less fine. Let's see, exit off of pit road. LRS sped onto pit road. You gotta be kidding me. And that is LRS's race over, which not very good for him, considering that Kenny's not exactly in Dusty Stud's range, but they're not in a pack together, so they're not going to be gaining much time. Now it's a matter of who else goofed pit road. Looks like nobody. Everyone from the second pack actually did well. Yeah, so Tomato will lead pretty comfortably over Storm. And here they go out of pit road. There's Dusty Stud, who will regain the lead. And Kenny might actually be fine after all this. He might just tuck in with these guys. Yeah, no, he's fine. Kenny's gonna be fine. But the leaders, that being Dusty Stud and Tomato, have checked out and away from that pack behind. There's actually a third pack behind here filled with Brad, Ranger, Crimson Sniper, and Deport, which I don't know how that exactly worked out, but hey, that's pretty cool to see. So here we go. We are done with pit stops. 17 laps to go. It's going to be 17 laps scheduled under green. There isn't any more like they need to stop, but it's in practice going to be 17 laps to the end, unless we have a caution, in which case that would change a fair bit. And Storm is leading over Mole, Kenny, and Clater. This is the secondary pack. And the leading duo of Tomato and Dusty Stud, they're just up front. They got to try and just work together. And they know that they're probably going to get cooked in LRS. Oh boy, LRS might be sweating his tail feathers off. And I don't know why I said tail feathers, but he might be sweating a lot more, considering that the two drivers, Kenny and Storm, those guys, if they win, he's in. And I actually didn't think about this, but because SP didn't score any points in the second stage and SP's losing out, SP might actually be more concerned, if anything, because SP has not beaten LRS at any point today in the stages, which that means that, I mean, let's see, LRS came in 11 points underneath SP. And if we get a first-time winner, SP might be in trouble if Storm or Kenny win. That could very much mean that one of the Legacy Motor Club drivers is going home. And I thought for sure it might be LRS, but I had completely overlooked the fact SP had not scored anything today, or didn't score anything. So, yeah, if it comes to it, that is going to be something that I'll have to check after the race. We'll see the points and how many points they scored, and I'll be able to tell you who goes home. But right now, without a caution, I could comfortably say that Flash Champ and Irate Pluto are currently out of the playoffs at this moment, like 100%. But for these guys in this pack right now, we're riding on board Kenny, there is still life, and their chance at competing for a championship just lies right ahead of that 47 car that currently is our leader. I should also add that Dusty Stud is, well, he's not competing wasn't competing for the title in the Cup Series. He is just a driver, or a part-time driver. Part-time. He's full-time driver, but he didn't make the playoffs because of his numbers. He didn't make enough races, and he's full-time in the Xfinity Series. He's going for the title there, and was going for it in trucks before he had to bow out. And he has found more success in the Cup Series than he has in the lower divisions, which is pretty interesting, at least to me. And right now, the race is officially back on. The second pack has caught the leading duo, and now, with just 12 laps to go, the fight is on. Dusty Stud trying to hold on over Storm, who is again on his outside. These guys have been door-to-door racing for the majority, if not all, of this race. So it's pretty interesting to see. Clater has a big run out of turn number 4. Storm and Mole gonna fall back. So there's like 3 pairs here. Of the 6 drivers in this main pack, there are 3 pairs of the drivers. There's the drivers that are already locked in to the Championship 4. That's Mole and Tomato. If Mole and Tomato win, they were already locked in to begin with. Nothing changes, at least for them. Then you got the drivers that must win. Kenny and Storm, the 2 drivers in the back right there. If they win, then the Championship 4 shifts, and we get a quote-unquote wild card competing for the title. And then we got the real wild cards in this race, Clater and Dusty Stud, who are both not competing for the playoffs. They're just here for the love of the sport, and they win. That kind of that helps the drivers that currently do not need the must-win drivers to win, but yeah, I don't know. I think I butchered that, but you get the point. 10 laps to go right now. They're coming to 9, and Tomato is doing a great job of just holding on right behind Dusty Stud. Clean was in Storm's chat saying, "You better win the race." Right now, I was just texting in Storm's chat because Clean's in there. But Storm goes underneath Clater. He will regain 3rd. And Kenny is... Okay, so I did something in the Discord a couple days ago. By a couple days ago, I mean like yesterday. Where I put down all the winners in UTLR of so far in Season 6 across Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, and F2. And there were 22 different drivers that have won at least one UTLR sanctioned points race. 2 of the drivers that are not on that list are right up here in this main mix. That's Kenny and Storm. It has not exactly gone the way of these 2 this season. This will be their first win in UTLR this season, and maybe the biggest win potentially of their careers. So absolute game changer if they can get it done. Unfortunately, behind Deport, Brad, and Crimson are not exactly getting the job done. And Storm muscles Tomato out of the way. That was pretty crazy. And Storm's going to move off into second, but look up ahead. It's SP, lapped car, is coming to get lapped. I think that's what lap cars tend to do. And with just about 6 laps to go, leaders are catching up to SP. So with the technical leader, the technical teammate leading, wonder how that's going to play out. He's just going to let them all go, which good on him. As Kenny gets put up into the wall and down into the grass he goes. Championship contender, potentially race winning his win costed there by the lapped car of SP, and he needed that to try and keep his championship hopes alive. Unfortunately, I think it's just gone to shit for him as he puts SP up into the wall, showing his displeasure. And this is coming to 5 laps to go, because right now there's no more cautions for this race. And Storm tries to go 3 wide, gets put off into the grass, saves it, and keeps it going. That was a pretty aggressive block from Dusty Stud, who's trying to keep this lead away from the Raging Bull. That is the 1 car. Goes down almost below the white line to block. That is legal. We did see that in the previous Michigan race. You can go below the white line to make a move. It's not a yellow line, so they are good to try and go for that, although definitely going to not be without a bit of people being angry. 4 laps to go here at the line. Just got a feel for Kenny here, who's now just going to have to watch. But this equally opens the door up for Storm, because now he's the only one left that is in the must-win. Everyone else is, well, you already know it's going to be pretty crazy. Dusty Stud going below the white line to actually defend. Storm trying to go around the outside there, but no one's going with him. Tomato does not get that good of a run. Now he does. Cuts back down. Contact between the leaders. Tomato, big push to the back of the 1. Plater now goes underneath the 1. He's going to move off into second. Tomato dives underneath the 1 as well. And Storm's on the fall back with 3 laps to go. And you gotta imagine this is music to the ears of LRS, who unfortunately is out of the contention for the win because he sped onto pit road, but knows that he needs that 1 car to not win in order for him to secure a spot in the Championship 4, or for his spot to be safe. I will say that second pack has managed to gain some time with the additional numbers, so that's good on them. But unfortunately, it's going to be too little, too late. 2 laps to go. Storm, Mole going to the outside with Tomato. Clater's still working with Dusty Stud as Storm dives it underneath Clater. Big lunge from the 1, and he gets loose. He's all sorts of sideways, and he manages to keep it, but they lose a ton of ground on the leaders. Tomato and Dusty are side by side, going down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Storm and Clater still side by side, now ducking back down, still side by side for the race lead. Here comes Mole. Are they going to be 3 wide for the lead? No. Mole tucks in behind Dusty Stud. White flag is out. 1 lap to go at Michigan. And Mole, who was the runner-up last time out at Michigan, trying to get it done. Big checkup on the bottom. Storm's going to go look down the yellow, underneath the yellow line. He spins. He spins out from 4th place. Mole now takes the lead. Lap car of SP just up ahead. And into 3 and 4 for the final time. Dusty Stud, big lunge to the bottom. Can't get it to work. Mole's still going to clear up. And out of 4. He won the round opener. He won last week at Watkins Glen. He's going to sweep the round and win at Michigan. And that will mean Championship 4 is set. Your Championship 4 contenders, Mole, Tomato, SP, and LRS, all advance on into the Championship 4. And you got to think that how heartbreaking it must be for Kenny in Storm. Kenny actually went through the grass on the last lap, or on coming to the white flag. Unfortunately, he kind of gave up after that, and Storm, who was in contention for the win, maybe the closest he's been all season, and unfortunately, in the last lap, gets into a wreck trying to go for it. And I can't really blame him. He went for the risky move that he knew was going to be tough to do. He went down onto the apron, which we hadn't seen all night. I will fair play to that. None of the cautions, we only had 2 cautions for cause. None of them were caused, or neither of them were caused by someone going onto the apron and spinning. So Storm went onto the apron, worn tires and all. He knew it was going to be a risky move because of how badly they checked up, and unfortunately, he got loose, spun out. And Dusty Stud, I will also add, gave a monumental effort going into 3 and 4, trying to get the lead, but unfortunately, just couldn't quite get there. You see there, Mole, or no, who actually had the fastest lap? Drake had the fastest lap. That's cool. LRS scored 39. Let's actually see how many. Okay, SB. Okay, so here's the thing. If Storm or Kenny had won that race, then 100% it would have been SP that would have been eliminated, and not LRS. Let me try and find. Wow, they're already all getting out of here. Mr. Tomato, you were you were in the top 3, correct?
That is correct. It was me, Mole, and Dusty.
Roger. I just wanted to make sure I was right about that. Where is our... Am I stupid? No, he's right there. What am I doing? I'm like looking for Mole. I'm like, where is he? I'm like hovering right above him. I just gotta send one thing. Drive the 12 car. Season for me. Okie dokie. Well, hello, gentlemen. If you would all include your audio, that would be much appreciated. We're going to get these interviews started here with our 3rd place finisher of Tomato. Tomato, you got a copy?
I got 2nd, bud.
Okay, great. Dusty Stud, you got 3rd. I made that mistake. My bad. Dusty, you were 3rd, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, to say the least, it was a amazing showing from you tonight. Led probably the most laps on the evening. In coming to the white flag, you were sitting in 2nd with the chance to get it done. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the move done there in 3 and 4, and come just a bit short. Talk me through maybe you could have done differently on those closing laps.
Yeah, I just let Mole get to the back of me, and then just wasn't able to hold it on the bottom. And then coming into 3, I dove it real low, and I could have easily hit him, but I was just being stupid. I tapped the brake a lot to keep that from happening, because I was just gonna fuck everybody's. But yeah, if it was somebody else, I don't think it would be the same outcome. But yeah, not much I could have done, but good race.
Well, and
yeah, fun race with everybody, as always.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, and looking onwards to next week, which is Road America. How you feeling about your chances there? Last road course on the season.
I don't know if I can just hang around all the typical fast road course guys, usually right behind them, but maybe if they mess up or something, gas mileage, race, something, but yeah, I'll just try to get the best finish I can next week.
Well, sir, you ran a very nice race for yourself and got a very nice result to show for it. Congrats on your 3rd place finish here tonight, man.
Appreciate it.
Now we will move on to Tomato, who is not 3rd, but is actually 2nd. I apologize for that. Tomato, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, capping off a pretty consistent round for you, in which pretty sure you found like second place in almost, if not all, of the races. You're only person coming into this race that was locked in on points, but again, really consistent race from you. Talk me through how you're able to navigate through the field and the absolute hectic nature of that last lap.
Yeah, honestly, the entire night I was just trying to be as patient as I could. I didn't really have much to lose at all. I was already locked into the round of four, so I was just simply trying to have as much fun as I could without reckoning at anybody at all. So yeah, I just decided to take it easy, see what I could do. And those last few laps, they were fun. I mean, I planned on just pushing Dusty to the win because he's raced me pretty clean, and so I figured, he deserves a good win. So I was just gonna push him, and then Alex got to the inside of me there and shuffled me up. So I was trying to make that top side work and almost had it, but eventually Mole and Dusty got by me, and then so I was just gonna try to defend third there, and then Dusty tried to get past Mole there going into three and overshot it a little bit, and crossed him over, and then we had a drag race to the line and managed to get him.
Well, looking forward into the championship for now, your future, well, it was already set going into this race, but sets you up nicely going into the championship for looking ahead at the tracks. How would you be feeling about confidence going into these next four races?
Well, Road America, road course, I'm pretty good there. I know Bristol's in there. I like Bristol. Bristol's a fun track. And then we got Homestead. Homestead, I feel like will probably be my weakest track. But again, that's probably going to be another pack type race. So I mean, anything can happen there. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, hell yeah, man. Congrats on your second place finish and another great result for you.
Thank you.
And lastly, our race winner, Mole. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I've said that for the previous two races in this round of 8, and you, my friend, have swept all 3 races in the round of 8. How does that feel?
That is insanity to me. It's one thing in this league I don't think I've done is swept around, but I hope it can be followed up with a championship at the end of all of this. I would rather have a championship than these last 3 wins. So hopefully we'll see what we can do. I know Tomato is going to be tough. We have battled all season long, including tonight. LRS and SP are also fast, so we'll see what happens. It's been a good run these last 4 races. I have 4 in a row, and I think it's the longest streak I've ever had. But I want a championship at the end of the day. So we'll see how Road America fares out. I've been practicing a lot there. I feel like I can be good. If I finish second to Tomato, I'll be okay. I'll be happy, because I know he's a good road course racer. Homestead's a little iffy. Bristol I'm excited for, and Talladega is a crapshoot. So I'm excited for these next 4 races and excited to be battling these guys. And I didn't expect to win today. I was kind of chilling for a while, and then I noticed it was Dusty and Tomato in front of me, and I was like, well, they're not racing for points. I don't mind going for a win. So I went for it. I think Alex helped with hitting some people behind me by the crazy moves he was making and left it up to me and Dusty, and we had a great battle at the end. So always good racing him as well, and I'm sure he's going to be in the mix of things next season. So looking forward to Road America and seeing how that pans out. Pretty excited for it.
Well, before I let you have the floor again to get anything off your chest, I do want to ask, well, the championship would be nice. How does the 5 in a row wins sound? Because I know you did just say that. You think you can possibly get it done at Road America?
I think it's possible. I know I'm going to have to beat Tomato there if that's going to be the case, though. I know I'm going to have to beat him and be as consistent as him, and that's something I need to practice. I think it's possible, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tall task. He's good. He's a good road racer, and I just have to I have to keep up with him. I don't want him to be 5 points ahead off the rip. I got lucky at Watkins Glen. I'm not even gonna lie. Strategy played in my favor. So we'll see what happens at Road America.
All right, man. Well, the floor is yours to do so one final time before the Championship 4 begins next week. Got anything to go off your chest or wish to say whatever? The floor is yours to do so, man.
Appreciate it, man. Now I just want to say a shout out to Tomato, LRS, and SP, man. They are the deserving Final Four, and I'm excited to race them all. That's exactly who I said was going to be in the Final Four before the season even started, was us four. So it's awesome to have these guys, and I have a great relationship with Tomato. Me and him battle all the time. LRS and SP, those two dudes I met in person. They're very cool people and very good people, and I'm very excited to be racing them as well. So let's make this championship a good one, and I'll see you all next week.
Well, hell yeah, man. Well, Dow, thank you so much for taking this interview, and congratulations again on your win here in the Irish Hills.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, my man.
Yeah, and well, that will do it for us here from the UTLR Cup Series. Unfortunately, tonight we will have to say goodbye to Irate Pluto, Flash Champ, Kenny, and Storm, as they have all been eliminated from the playoffs, and say to our Championship 4 good luck, as LRS, SP, Tomato, and Mole will go to war for the next 4 weeks to crown the Season 6 UTLR Cup Series Championship, which kicks off next week, same time as always, as we head up to Wisconsin for Road America, our last road course of the season, and it's going to be an exciting one. But till then, this is INF signing off. Thank you all so much for tuning into this live broadcast of the UTLR Cup Series. Until next time, my friends, take it easy. Good night.